Alright, today we are working on the Land Cruiser. Going to replace several different items, so got a lot of work to do today. Alright, so we're going to look at some parts here. Got the heater hoses, heater control valve, all new clamps to go with those. We're going to put in a new radiator. So got new radiator hoses, clamps, thermostat, radiator cap, all that good stuff. PCV and breather hoses. Putting in the new alternator as well. Alternator's bad. While we've got it all taken apart, going to replace the fuel filter as well. Hopefully that's a little bit easier to get to with everything out. Going back with all Toyota parts instead of aftermarket. Paid a little extra, but I know I will be able to trust it. So anyway, got the trusty repair manual, which is important. And then also we've got parts diagrams and stuff from the factory service manual to help as well. So should be a full day. Hopefully it goes well. Alright, got the pickhook removed actually. I didn't think we were going to be able to, but it's actually just finger tight. So we got a little bit of a drain there. I'm going to go ahead and take off the radiator cap here, see if we can increase our flow. Yeah, there's our miss. Feed a mess. So we've gotten the hoses off, obviously the grill, loosened up the fan shroud, and now I'm loosening up the nuts off the fan clutch. See if I can get an angle here. Yeah, so something that somebody had done this previously, put different size nuts on. I don't even know how that happens, but anyway, I don't know if you can see, yeah, right there where my finger is on these nuts coming off the pulley there, attaching the fan clutch and the fan, different sizes. What? Got the battery box out, battery disconnected. Obviously you can see the alternator there. Hopefully that means it's going to be a little bit easier once the radiator and all that good stuff is out to replace that. Got the radiator mostly disconnected, but hoping I can see the lines there at the bottom a little bit better with the fan shroud out. It's hard to see from below to get those removed. and get the fan clutch fan and fan shroud out all together. Alright, good. So we got that out. Now, I can see the lines going into the bottom. So perfect. Got this one out already. Cool. Okay, so first major problem. We're able to wiggle the nut out that holds the radiator in on this side, but I can't get this side. Loosened up the headlight, and it's the one we want. It is right down in there. You can just see it. There we go. That's what we want right there. And I don't have a socket to get on it. It's too deep for a regular shallow socket, but it's too small of a space for my deep socket. Thankfully I found a wobble extension that I didn't know I had, but still can't get on it. Everything else is coming out just fine though. All right, it is about 9:15. And taking the first trip to Lowe's. Hopefully the only trip, but we will see. I'm trying to get a thin sidewalled 12mm deep socket. See how this goes. Getting pretty dark out. Might make the afternoon more interesting. Thank you, Lowe's, for sponsoring this video. Just kidding. That'd be really nice. Okay, I think we're free. Just a little bit of fluid, that's okay. And we're out. Now struggling with that electrical plug on the alternator. Cannot get it to budge. I've already broken it in 2 places. Finally got the booger out. Electrical connector is actually intact. Did a little cleaning. Lay it cleaned. Alright, time to go back in with the alternator. Finally got the radiator, well, to the point where we can put the radiator back in. Got the alternator in. Electrical connection is fine. Plugged up. Belts roughly put back on. Got a visitor. We're back in business. Okay, that is a wrap for day number 1. The radiator is in. Alternator is in. Fan shroud, new hoses. We actually have fan shroud bolts now. Bought those new from Toyota. The previous owner had a bungee cord on one side, which meant that the fan ate through some of the bottom of the fan shroud, but it is in there correctly now. All right. It is hot. So we're done. All right, we are ready for day 2 of the Land Cruiser project. LX450, FZJ80, whatever you want to call it. So yesterday we got alternator, radiator hoses, other small things done. Today we'll be getting the heater control valve, hoses, all these, maybe the fuel filter if we can get to it. Also going to be wrapping the exhaust manifold, and then rewrapping some of this stuff to protect it from the exhaust heat. So you can't see it because I don't have light, but wire harness above the engine block near the EGR needs to be rewrapped to protect the wires. So another full day. Feels much better this morning than it did yesterday. It got real hot yesterday. Visitor. Hi, Gene. All right, here we go. Although getting the PCB would be difficult, this grommet is as hard as rock. So my strategy, destroy the grommet to be able to wedge a screwdriver in on the shoulder of the valve to pry it out. I think it's gonna work. Alright, so this heater hose down here, it's got one of those annoying clips with a cotter pin through it. It's like a clamp clip type of a deal. I'm literally having to take a hacksaw blade to cut it off because the connection is also at the bottom. You cannot get to. Alright, I think I'm through. Finally got all those heater hoses out. That was a tough job. You can kind of see on the firewall way back there, right there. That was really difficult. And there it goes down. And then these two on the firewall, right there and there. Very stubborn. Had to cut them out. There's the pipe right there. Now we can finally start reassembling. All right, we are in business. Got the heater hoses on and ready to take off these retaining clips that hold the hose clamps in place. Let me show you what I mean. All those little red caps, ooh, these come off. It's so satisfying. Take these off for the first time. They clamp right on there. So that took a long time to get those done, but finally there. Is that all of them on this side? There's more over here. Nope, I think that's all of them. All right. Ready to bolt this stuff back up. And then we... Did anyone spot my problem? I wasn't paying close enough attention. And the wiring harness is on the wrong side of the hoses. Oh well, no big deal. I'll just disconnect the hose there. Slide it back behind and put it back on. No big deal. One of the funny things about putting this kind of a puzzle piece together of all these hoses. Oopsie. Alright, so now I'm going to try to take out, it's called a block plug to drain more of the coolant out, because not very much comes out of the radiator. So I've got a ladder system of all the extensions that I own, and hopefully this will work where I can get up on it. Getting any in the bucket?
You are.
This pretty much wraps up part 1 of the baselining process. I repeated this draining procedure 4 more times to flush out as much of the old green coolant as I could. I drained by removing the lower radiator hose. I know there are other methods to flush, but I went for simplicity here and decided to drain and refill with distilled water until I was happy with the color. Once I was happy, I drained one last time and refilled with Toyota red coolant. There were a ton of other small tasks that I did not film as a part of this project. We have already replaced the side mirrors, window channel rubber, window motors and regulators, and much more. Soon every inch of this thing will have been cleaned, repaired, replaced, or modified as we look to the future of exploration with this as our primary vehicle. The routine maintenance and additional baselining list is long, but this has been a blast to work on so far. My favorite part of this FZJ80 project is that my wife wants to be involved every step of the way. She has done oil changes and other maintenance tasks for years, but she wants to increase her knowledge so that she can do more repair jobs by herself in the future. It is important to us that both of us will be able to troubleshoot potential problems on the trail in the future. You'll have to wait for the next video to see more odds and ends completed and what the immediate future of the FZJ80 looks like. We have exciting things planned in the future for the FZJ80 and other adventures, so check back to see what we have in the works. Until then, try something new, get outside, and never stop learning.